Today we're taking a quick look at the new Smallrig Mini Follow Focus, and we'll draw a couple comparisons to the Tilta Mini Follow Focus because I happen to have it on hand. I have it here mounted on the Sony A1, and if you're curious about this cage, it's very similar to the cage for the A7S III, which I reviewed a little while ago, and this cage can actually be used on that camera too. Only the top has been adjusted to give a little more clearance for the new dials on the A1, and unfortunately at the moment the HDMI clamp, which still goes in the same spot as before, does not line up with the HDMI port for the A1. First off, these two are very similar in size and design at first glance. Since they are pretty small, they'll be at home on smaller rigs, but keep in mind that you'll need more rotation to turn lenses that have bigger focus throws, like you see mostly on dedicated cine lenses. There do seem to be other sized gears available that could help with that, but I haven't used them. These both come with snap-on follow focus gears to wrap around photo lenses, and because of the smaller distance you need to turn photo lenses to focus, this is probably the best use for both of these. I've been using them with the IRIX Cine lenses, which have a focus throw something right in between those two, and it's been okay unless I need to make large adjustments. They both also come with some sort of rod mount and a short 15mm rod. Smallrig's rod mount actually doubles as a NATO rail, so you can put it on top of your camera cage and still use a handle there, for example. The Tilta does come in a little hard case, although I honestly just throw this in my bag most of the time, but it is a nice touch. They also both come with adjustable hard stop pins, and while Smallrigs can easily be removed just by unscrewing them, Tilta's requires you to actually remove the whole wheel and slide them off that way, or else you're stuck with little metal things swinging around on the inside. Which is the reason why I don't have any on mine right now. Those little hard stop pins can come in handy for pre-planned shots, so it's really too bad. For the Smallrig, it would be great to see a couple of small screw holes on the arm somewhere, so you can store those little pins when you remove them though, maybe on the version 2. Now, last but not least, for major physical comparisons, these both have a sort of bending arm design that let you tilt it out of the way after you have it mounted for quick lens changes, then just tilt it back down into place without having to mess with it too much. Cinema lenses usually have their focus gears in the same location, so even switching between lenses, it's really quick and easy. Something I do like about Smallrigs is that because the arm joint is just a simple 15mm rod type joint, you can simply slide it out and use this right on your camera without the extra arm section when you really want it to be super compact. You can do this with Tilta too, but it doesn't look like it's meant for that. Really not a huge deal at all, but something I noticed. Another thing with these bending arms though, where I think that I like the Tilta better, is that Tilta's lever to tighten that down in place is easy to do with just your thumb and a small movement, like a simple lever. Smallrig's design is like you get on any of their rod clamps, a pretty typical thumb screw that doesn't really cause any problems, but it does feel less smooth or less purpose-made, I guess. Either way, they both work fine, of course. Now, both of these also allow you to change the gears to either the front or the back, which helps for mounting it from either below or above, on the left or on the right. It works pretty much the same on both, but Smallrig does have a little metal cap on the unused side. I think it really would have been better if it screwed on instead of just slipped on like it does. Again, not really an issue though, even if you lose it. The shape and grip on the wheels are slightly different, but I'd say in terms of size and texture, they feel similar enough in use to not really make me choose one or the other. They both also have spots to plug in whips if you want to have someone pull focus next to you without touching the camera. And last but absolutely not least, and what's probably most important, is the feel of the movement. I'd say the Smallrig feels just a bit more sticky and stiff compared to the Tilta. Honestly, I did notice it in use, not only when comparing it carefully side by side, and I didn't love the feel of it after having used the Tilta for probably over a year now. So at the moment these seem to be exactly the same price, both $99, but I think the Smallrig has a few advantages. The better hard stops, for example, the debatably better rod mount depending on your setup, and an expanding ecosystem including things like different sized gears for just over $10, and even seamless focus gear rings for just $2 each, which I don't have here, but they would be really nice if you plan to use photo lenses mainly for video. But like I said, the overall feel of the Tilta is a bit better, so keep that in mind if you're picky. It might not be as cut and dry as that though. For photo lenses with lighter focus rings, the more resistance that the Smallrig gives you might be something you're happy to have. Whereas with cinema lenses that are built with an appropriate amount of resistance in the lens, the lighter Tilta follow focus worked better for me. But if you have any remaining questions or comments, let me know down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Otherwise, if you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing, subscribing if you haven't already, and as always, thank you for watching.